One of the really cool things that Brandon has here that's a very nifty invention of his is the way that he gets rid of duckweed. Because as you have in here, you can see there is duckweed in here, which is the bane of most people's existence. But he's come up with a pretty clever way to capture the duckweed. So if you want to show us what your clever contraption invention is to
I don't know that I can really take credit for it. The first time I saw something that gave me the idea was somebody had taken a wave maker unit and similar thing, had put it on a basket with some mesh and used that. And so I was like, well, I don't have a wave maker unit, but I had a bunch of these little, actually you can see one here, that's just like almost like little fountain pumps.
Yeah.
Little cheap things. I think I got 2 of them for $6 off of Amazon.
Okay.
And so I put them on the top of some of the bigger tanks just to create flow across the top, especially when I have valve or something like that you want ripply stuff going on there.
And also just creates a more stagnant water if you don't have anything there.
Yeah, you're just getting surface agitation. So I had a couple of extra of those, and what I ended up doing was just taking a plastic Wendy's cup and put the pump in the bottom with a piece of hose just going through the bottom, and then stuff filter floss on top. This has been used a few times. This filter floss is probably ready to be retired, but you can see I just kind of pack it on enough to get a seal.
And it protects the pump from actually sucking it in.
Right, well, from getting clogged up with liquid, otherwise it'd get clogged immediately. And so you just let it fill up with water and flood, and eventually the pump will catch and pull the water through. Once it starts flowing like that, I'll usually take like a chip clip and kind of clip it to the side of the tank by one of these little tendrils and just let it hang there.
Yeah, and it's naturally going to skim the surface of the water.
Basically, it's just a surface skimmer. And I'll let it run overnight if that tank's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't like fishing out duckweed, and it grows so fast.
Yeah.
But it is good at removing nitrates and all that. But it does limits light. It interferes with light getting through there. It slows flow across the top, so it limits gas exchange. There's good and bad with it, especially if you let it get overgrown.
Yeah.
And so, that's a good way to...
very cheap and clever way to get rid of duckweed if you want to get rid of it. And you don't have other fish that will eat it.
Right. You always hear about people have koi or stuff like that.
Or goldfish.
Yeah, that they can feed it to. And so, I always... or chickens.
Or chickens, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that birds
it's a very high protein plant, actually, in comparison to what you would think as being a scum of the earth, for our aquariums is like almost like a fish herpes. Like you get in a tank, he's like, how did you get in here? Like you need to, I want you gone. It's like, I'm never leaving now.
Well, and with this many tanks, I've got multiple kinds of fish herpes, because this, like you see, like in some of the tanks has this stuff, which I would think most people would just call duckweed. It's real small. I believe it's maybe duckweed minima is the technical
term, yeah.
And then several of them have this stuff, which I've heard is called greater duck meat. And it's a fatter...
It's definitely a little bit larger than the other stuff
thicker, quiltier leaves. Has a little bit of almost like a red root to it, kind of like red root floaters. Then up top, I've got some frog bit.
I can see it just poking down through the
But it just mats. It creates big, huge wads. And so it's like I've got a few different floaters now that... they're all in their own way some type of great, but also a hindrance.
I know I can't be the only one that's really frustrated about having to scoop out duckweed all the time. I just spent today doing that. So if you guys want to see how Brandon actually made his duckweed contraption, we can make a video with him showing us how he builds it, how he makes it, how it actually works, and we can do that. If you guys are interested in that, leave a comment down below and we can see if we can't work something out. And this video is actually a very small snippet of a larger video, a fish room tour that I did with Brandon in his DIY fish room, where he uses mainly cinder blocks and 2x4s to make this beautiful fish wall that he has. So if you guys are interested in that type of video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and looking out for this video in the next coming weeks. I'll make sure to leave that video here when it actually does come out. But in the meantime, I'm going to put an El Somega bird's eye video, one of my favorite nano fish ever, right here for you guys to check out. So I'll see you guys over in that video. Have a blessed day. See ya.